Hello everyone, I'm Rick Zanotti, and welcome to eLearnChat, where talk is knowledge. Well, today we've got a special edition. A friend of ours just walked in the door, happened to walk in, well, actually we knew he was walking in, but he's here with us, Bryan Jones from eLearningArt.com. Hey Bryan, how are you today?
Doing really well, thanks for having me out here.
So what have you been up to with eLearningArt? It's been we haven't actually seen each other almost a year.
Yeah.
And we're not that far from each other.
Yeah, no.
Bad.
Only an hour apart. But it's been really busy. We've been focused on two major things. One is growing the eLearningArt asset library. So lots of photo shoots and template creation. And then also making the overall user experience better. So we launched a new back-end system and have been tagging all of the photos and making that an easier thing for people to define and navigate.
That's good. Now, how many avatars do you have now?
So we have a total of 20,000 e-learning character images, and we're releasing actually in January another 2,000 as well. So we're really adding to that library.
That's interesting. Now, have you found that people have favorites?
Yes, there's definitely favorites, and I know people are looking, I think, for a diverse character set when building e-learning, and so I think that those overall diversity is what people tend to download the most.
Last year, you were building something I thought was really interesting, and that was industry-specific characters.
Yep. Construction,
medical. How'd that go?
It's great, yeah. So we originally started with just business characters, and then it's really been driven by what our members are requesting. So from there, we moved from business, we went and did medical. From medical, people then wanted industrial, and then when you look inside of industrial, there's so many different categories. It's endless. So you need your guy who has the safety glasses, but no hard hat. Now you need the safety hat. Yeah. Or the safety glasses and hard hat.
Right.
And now you need the earplugs around your neck, or you need the safety vest. So really going through, that was probably the most complicated shoot that we've done. And we have a bunch of other industry specific as well, with telemarketing, customer service, and I've moved more into casual and people in suits as well. We've had, I'd say, business casual within the business category is our biggest set within the library. Okay. But there's been a request for more casual characters, and it was maybe 6 months ago we launched our first casual characters, and of the images that are launching in January, we have a few more sets of casual characters, and we'll continue to grow that.
Oh, that's great.
The library out as
that's
well.
Great. Now, how's business? Is it going?
Yeah,
it's growing. Now, you have a relationship with Adobe, I think, right?
Yep. Yeah. So I think starting in Adobe Captivate 6 and 2 versions ago with Adobe Presenter as well. We have a number of characters that are pre-built into the program. So if you go to Insert Character, you'll find some of our character sets.
Okay. Any other ones planned? As far as authoring tools?
Would love to be getting into more authoring tools. I think that getting closer to the end user is a good thing. Mm-hmm. And I think that most people, it's probably a lack of knowledge on that there are characters or that they can use characters. So I think it's a good thing for us to introduce people to characters directly within tools.
Now, we've been using the eLearningArt characters now probably about 3 years, if not 4.
Yeah.
It's been a lot. I think right when you started, we were there. And if you haven't used them, use them. They're good. And I don't say it just because he's here, though he does have a gun up. No, I'm just kidding. They're really good. The quality and the edges, and that's one of the things we look at. We do a lot of Photoshop, and we can't find bad edges. I've tried. We've actually looked and we can't find bad edges. You guys do a lot of work to make that really clean.
Even just since we launched, it was almost 5 years ago, those first sets, we've really learned a lot in the process. Everything is hand clipped, and it's always been hand clipped, but our quality control process, if you know what color background you're putting a character cutout onto, it's easier to cut it out. But if you're trying to build something that could go onto any background, it could go onto black, it could go onto white, it could go onto a photo, it really has to be clipped well. And so everything's still done by hand. I think I added it up. I was thinking about it on the drive over here, and with our set right now with the 20,000 images, it would take somebody 3.5 years of working 40 hours a week to clip those backgrounds out. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
You actually do it by hand? Actually, wow,
yeah,
that is a lot of work. But no, seriously, we have been looking throughout the years at the way they're cut, and what we find is that even in the hair, that's where we really look. Blondes hair, bad.
Yeah.
we haven't really found any white spots or anything that just kind of comes out just really clean. And yet you don't also get the jagged edge.
Yeah.
When sometimes people cut by hand or whatever, we're just not seeing that.
Yeah, the hair is definitely the most time-consuming part, and especially with white. Sometimes people will use a quick, dirty workaround when somebody's doing videos to shoot on green screen and do the chroma key element, but when you do stills, it makes imperfect edges and you get color spill into the hair. So we still shoot on white backgrounds.
So you shoot white, okay?
We shoot on white. But then when you have people with gray hair or white hair, that white poofy hair against the white, it becomes very difficult.
Right. Do you switch the background at that point?
No, we still shoot on white. It's just a more time-consuming process.
You have to light a little bit differently.
Yeah, it is a little bit different.
So what do you see as you're working? I know in e-learning. Have you done work with marketing too?
Yeah, there's certainly there's crossover between the library we're creating for e-learning, for presentations, for marketing, and there's definitely an overlap, and I think that there's the same sort of need for having pre-built assets, and I think one of the things that we like to focus on is empowering kind of your average user to really be able to make good-looking training, marketing, whatever, because we're not all graphic designers, and the assets, having good assets really helps. And when I'm talking to my guys who do some of the development, it's if they can make my work look good, if I'm in there in an e-learning authoring tool or I'm trying to do a design and I'm able to make something look good, then I know it's going to be good for our users as well, because I'm kind of lumped in with that, that same skill level as a graphic designer. I'm not a graphic designer by trade.
You do pretty well though.
Thanks.
I've seen you build things. You do pretty well.
Thanks. I actually use PowerPoint as one of my main graphic design tools. I think some people will be surprised by that, but that's my go-to program for designing anything, and then it's going to Photoshop if I have to.
That's funny. You're exactly like us. We used to live in Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're probably 20% in Photoshop now and 60 to 80% in PowerPoint.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
Yeah, they've really built in a lot of tools. And now there's some tweaking you need to do with the way that you set up your toolbars and all of that. Yeah. But once you have that set, it's really powerful.
Yeah, the only issue with PowerPoint is the aspect ratio is always a little bit different from when it goes out. It makes things bigger. Yeah. Usually than they are when you do it in Photoshop, because then you know exactly what your pixel size is. Well, PowerPoint doesn't really use pixels.
Yeah, you can convert it though.
You can.
Right, because PowerPoint it's like most print stuff. It's going to give you the number of inches that it's going to be in, but you can do a conversion over there. I think we have a product that's going to come out later this month as well, where it's kind of like a splash screen, but it would be more for creating like a blog header.
Oh, okay.
And the same thing, by tweaking the PowerPoint size settings, you can actually do the tweaks in PowerPoint, and then you can just save it out as an image, and it comes out to the resolution that you'd want it to.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
it's fun. PowerPoint's a good tool. It's not bad at all. We've done a lot of presentations with your products in PowerPoint, and actually the quality and the look is sharp. It looks clean. Things look good in PowerPoint, surprisingly. A lot of people don't think they do. And there's tools like Articulate, like iSpring, the Presenter, Adobe Presenter, which a lot of them use. Now, Articulate tends to use the cartoon characters. Actually, you have cartoon characters, right?
Yeah, we just launched those a few months ago, our first set of cartoon characters.
Yeah, how are those going?
They're great. I really like the style, and I think that's the thing with your cartoons is building out in a single style, right, and not trying to mix and match, mix and match them. So we launched 8 characters, 4 men, 4 women of different ethnicities.
I've got to look at those. I haven't seen those yet. So those are going pretty well.
Yeah, they're good, and I think we'll continue to build out the rest of that set into different outfits.
Yeah. Now we've done a lot of work with Articulate Storyline, and we were using the characters a lot, and it's funny. I'd say 70% like them, and 30% go, I hate the cartoons. Okay.
It's a style.
It's a style. Some people just think, oh, that's childish. People like them. Most people actually think they're fun. Yeah,
I like Articulate's design with their characters.
They were cute.
I think they're good. But again, if you're producing a lot of content, I think you need to at some point switch over to a new design to feel fresh, and that's fine.
True.
Yeah, I like Articulate stuff.
Yeah, it's good to mix and match because otherwise everything looks exactly the same after a while.
Yeah.
And I think they do some sort of people, but I haven't really. It was okay.
Yeah, I think they have one person
Character pack or something. Yeah, that's it. Just one.
And then they offer some other ones as well.
Okay. Yeah, it's like I said, we've been using your stuff for years, and we've been really happy with
Great.
it.
That's good to hear.
Everybody here likes them. We've had 4 or 5 graphic artists all working on using them, and that's first thing they go to is let's go download some more images, and they're pretty happy.
Good.
On the whole. So what do you see as you've been involved in e-learning for quite a while now.
Yeah.
Any trends, anything you see different coming up in e-learning, or good or bad trends?
Well, there's certainly a talk more and more of mobile everything and mobile learning, and it'll be interesting to see how that really plays out. I don't really view tablet as being all that different than desktop in terms of being able to go through an e-learning course, but when you look at a cell phone,
they're tough.
Yeah, the screen size is so small, there's really a different approach.
I think cell phone's video.
Yeah, or you really need to minimize the design elements. To
have
just
big text, some graphics, and pretty much probably go landscape.
Yeah.
So what other trends are you seeing in e-learning besides? Let me ask you this, because a lot of people are saying, "God, e-learning's not going anywhere. E-learning's slow." Are you finding any slowdowns in e-learning, or?
I think that the more that these tools become easier to use, it's going to empower people to just everyday people to be able to build better training as well.
Right.
So I don't think e-learning is disappearing, and there's always the talk about maybe the market shrinks or whatever, the downturn, but I think people are getting scrappier, and people are getting empowered to build training as well, especially with some of these PowerPoint based tools.
They're easy.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
They're pretty powerful.
Yeah, when I think back to when I first started in e-learning in 2000, and some of the custom programs that we were using to build simulations, it was really crazy. So
we were doing probably Flash and everything else in those days, or what were you using that? It was still authorware. That was about the end of authorware.
I was building on a SmartForce, which is now Skillsoft.
Yeah.
That's where I was working back in 2000, and they had acquired a company that had their own simulation development tool.
Okay.
And there's a lot of soft skill stuff, and it tends to be the type of training that I like to build as well. But we were building. We'd have full-on graphic department doing all the photos for us and everything, and we were building courses that were going out to the masses through SmartForce.
Well, also one of the things you've done that I like is you build a lot of sets.
Yep.
You build a lot of scenario based, so you have like pre-built scenarios where you can change the people, you can change. How's that going?
It's good, and I think that we're continuing to get better on how we shoot our backgrounds as well, and just looking at how we have our setup here. I think I have a blog post on building e-learning conversations, and you look at our cameras right now. We have camera 1 on you, camera 2 is on me, and then we have this third camera
on both of us, or actually kind of on back of me to you.
Yeah. So when you're building your backgrounds, you need to be thinking about that as well. It's the multi angles, and that's actually I need to credit David Anderson from Articulate. This is before he was at Articulate. When
oh really?
Yeah. I went out to Florida for the conference. Was it Learning Solutions, the one that's out there?
Learning Solutions in Orlando.
I was out there for Learning Solutions, and I was talking to him 5 years ago before I launched eLearningArt about shooting the characters and clipping out the backgrounds, and he had mentioned to me, "Oh, you should shoot over the shoulder from behind," and I thought that at the time that sounded silly. Like, why would I need that? But that's exactly what camera 3 is for us here. It's shooting over your shoulder at me, and that's been.
And it creates a realistic scenario between two people.
Yeah. So every person that we shoot, we're shooting from that back angle. And if you look at some of the newer images, it started as only forward and then a couple to the side,
right.
and one from the back, and now it's like we have the dead on, we have turn to the side, and then turned a little bit more, and then the 3/4 turn. And the shot sets, or the shot list has grown from our initial photo shoots. We'd end up with 75 finished photos per set, and now we're at 150 or 160. And
that's a lot. Yeah. One of the fun things with PowerPoint, you can do this with almost all the authoring tools, and people don't do this often. But you could take image 1, you could take image 2, put one facing image, one's in the back, one's in the front, and move them.
Yeah, it's called the parallax.
It's a parallax kind of effect.
Yeah.
And so while they're talking, it looks like there's actually movement. You can even move the background because you're just moving layers.
Yep.
And it is the most powerful effect to give motion to something that is a still image.
Yeah, one of the things I like to do is take if you crop you don't even have to crop it in PowerPoint. You can let it run over the space. But
Right.
if you had a long rectangle of an image, you can start it on one side and slowly move.
That's right.
Slowly
Yeah.
move the whole thing across, and
Yeah.
it goes across the visible area.
And it's cool. Yeah, we've done that for backgrounds. Like if we have a background and we want to show somebody in a car, and we just move one background, move the other one, and it looks like they're actually moving.
Yep.
And it's just two images.
Yeah.
And because some people don't want to pay for video or don't want to really set up those shoots, it's a nice, cute way to do that, and yet it's very effective.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a lot of good things are happening.
And I think one of the biggest shifts for us too is membership based. I think we launched the membership.
It was about a year ago, right?
It was a little over a year ago that we launched it. We had both the membership and normal purchases, a la carte purchases you could make.
Is it all membership now?
It's we only do membership, and what we found is I think that's a better thing for both users and it's a better thing for us too. What I have found is it puts a lot more pressure on us to produce new content, but I think that's a good thing. And we're expanding the library more because of that, and there's an expectation that we continue to expand the library.
Yeah. And actually, your membership prices are not that expensive.
Yeah, if you compare our monthly or our annual rate is what you would pay for a normal stock photography site for a month. So
iStock, for example, they have some nice stuff, but they're expensive.
Yeah, you're gonna pay hundreds of dollars a month for that versus our single user license is under $200.
Yeah, it's very decent. Yeah, so that's great. So you get a lot of artwork. It's not a commercial, guys. It's really true. Like I said, we use this. You just save a fortune. You just save a fortune on doing it this way versus having to buy the individual images, and it's also easier. Like you said, for the end user, for us, we don't have to go, oh, we need this character.
Yeah.
Darn, who's got the credit card? Wait a minute, we have a subscription. Boom, we know what to do.
Yeah, and the other thing that we've done differently, that it's the way that I would have always liked to see the stock photo sites be set up is. The way that they usually restrict you is you only get a certain number of downloads a day, and we don't restrict the number of downloads that somebody does in a day. So you can come in there, and it's mostly based around usage. Though you're only supposed to be using the images while you're a member. They're good for forever. So if you create training, it's not like you cancel and you can't use it, but you're not allowed to just stockpile things, download the entire library, and then
no, because then you just.
But I'm hoping that we're priced in a range that is so reasonable that people feel like they're getting value out of it and want to keep it.
Well, yeah, as a user, I think it is. I mean, no complaints there. I thought it was actually very reasonable. When you did the initial pricing, I went, wow, that's because I remember we used to pay for the characters. It was $75 to $100-something.
Yeah, most of them worked out. Yeah, it was about $100 for a single character.
So what we're saying is this is an absolute deal.
Yeah, for the price of what you pay for two characters before.
It's an absolute deal. Yeah, and like you said, you want variety in the pieces. If you use the same character every single piece, people eventually start going. It's so that's kind of what's happening with Articulate, because immediately everyone used the same characters, and so people could say, "Oh, that's a storyline piece," right away.
Yeah.
Well, Bryan, again, a pleasure seeing you again.
Yeah.
That's it for today. If you guys want to go see what Bryan's done, go to, I know we've been showing it on and off, it's www.elearningart.com. Take a look at it, subscribe. He'll be very happy you do. He's got a kid, so you got to subscribe. Make sure he keeps that kid fed.
There's actually there's a 7-day free trial as well. Where you get access to the entire library, so you can do it for no risk.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, that's my little plug.
Any limitations on that, or?
It's for trial purposes. So if you cancel and you don't want to become a member, then you can keep using the images. But,
yeah, it's a good deal. So if you do need graphics, and who doesn't, take a look at www.elearningart.com. Well, this is it for this special edition. We're going to be on again tomorrow on eLearnChat. Today was a special edition. Bryan was in the area, and we said, "Oh, come on, let's do a show." We thought that'd be a lot of fun. Bryan, again, a pleasure seeing you, and that wraps up the show. We'll see you guys next week. Take care. Bye-bye.